Hey guys, I want to talk about out-of-state carry conceal. I'm going to be going on vacation in about a week, and I probably won't post this video until I'm gone, so that way you guys have something to watch while I'm away. And I want to talk about out-of-state carry. It's a question that's come up because I've mentioned this vacation in a couple of videos, and people said, geez, how are you carrying, legally? And so let's talk about it. There's too much information to give you to talk about each state and what each state requires and how this whole thing is going to work from state to state, because it's just too much information. If you're interested in this, you're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to get on the internet and you're going to have to learn a couple of things. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a guide so that you know what to look for. Now, first of all, you have to know obviously your home state and your permit status in your home state. Hopefully you have a permit. I know not every state even issues permits. Like I think Vermont, Alaska, and I think one or two other states don't even issue any permits at all because they're a constitutional carry state. So if you're in a constitutional carry state, it kind of complicates things. So some states don't have permits, some states have permits, and some states require that you have a resident permit, and some states will take any permit. So you're going to have to get up, look at your state, find out who accepts your state's permit, and go from there. So if you look up your state and you accept 10 permits, figure out where they are, what you need for your travel. And then from there, you can do one thing that will add to your number of states, which is to get a non-resident permit in a state that's widely accepted. And a couple of those are Arizona, Utah, and Florida. In general, about 30 people accept those permits, 30 states at least. So if you are able to pick up a non-resident permit, and if you do a search on it, you'll actually find there's a lot of people offering classes for them, and the cost is actually pretty cheap. You can get yourself a Utah or Arizona permit for less than $200, and it actually takes less than 2 months to get them. It's a very quick and very easy process. I did it myself. I actually have 3 non-resident permits that are available to me, plus my state of New York permit. So I'm legal in like 36 states total, and I'm covered for my vacation for everywhere it is I have to go, which is fantastic. So non-resident permits, every state has a different requirement. I'm just going to throw a few examples. Like Utah, you literally take a class, fill out an application, send in some fingerprints and a picture, and you get your permit like 2 months later. It's like that easy. State like Pennsylvania, you actually have to apply in person in Pennsylvania for a non-resident permit. So states have different rules and all that, but a non-resident permit, if you get Arizona, Utah, Florida, a lot of those are really easy to get, and they'll expand you into the 30s automatically. So what do you need to know when you travel? Now, just because you have that permit doesn't mean you can just go slinging your gun around every state and be reckless. There are still laws you have to follow. Now, number one, you need to know in each and every state what they consider to be a loaded weapon. Now, in New York State, we consider this a loaded weapon. We also consider this a loaded weapon. And no, there's not one in the chamber. But this is still considered a loaded weapon in New York. Having a firearm with a loaded magazine is considered a loaded weapon. So, something you need to know, something you need to look up. What is a loaded weapon? You need to know if a loaded magazine constitutes a loaded weapon, how this thing has to be carried in a way, and can you carry it loaded or do you have to carry it unloaded? Some states have some rules about that. You're going to need to know. Second, you're going to need to know where you can carry. Every state has different laws about this. In New York, believe it or not, we actually have some of the easiest laws in the country. We can pretty much carry anywhere except like federal buildings. We can carry in hospitals, we can carry in churches, we can carry in bars, we can carry in schools. We pretty much have no restrictions provided you have a permit. Believe it or not, New York did something right. First time ever on that. So you need to see where you can carry. One state to the next may be different. You also need to understand the difference between a restaurant and a bar. Every state has a different distinction between a restaurant and a bar. In some states, you could walk into an Applebee's and it would be illegal for you to carry your pistol. Next state over, it may be completely fine. Some states allow you to drink while you are carry conceal. Other states do not. These are things you need to know. Another thing you need to know is about hotel and RV carry. You're going to need to know if you can legally carry in your hotel and what procedure there is for that. I think almost every state allows you to carry into your hotel, but you're going to want to double check and make sure. You don't want to be that oddball state that doesn't allow it. Same thing with RVs and recreational kind of vehicles. Can you carry concealed in that? Do you have to put it in the luggage compartment, loaded, unloaded? You need to look that up. There are specific rules for RVs and hotels for pretty much every state. Another thing, does a sign have the effect of law? This is something you need to know as well. Here in New York, a sign does not have the power of the law. So if I put a sign in my business that says no firearms allowed, it's just a sign, it does nothing. However, if I cross over into Ohio, that sign can get me arrested for trespassing if I carry concealed. So you need to know, do signs carry the power of law? If they do, you need to follow what those signs say, or else you can be arrested. Another important thing to note is that some states have different rules about carrying in vehicles. So here in New York, we give different kinds of permits. Like we give like a sportsman's permit or a carry concealed permit. We have different kinds of permits that dictate how you carry inside a vehicle. Other states do not. Other states do not allow you to carry the firearm on your person while you're driving. Some states require that you actually keep the firearm openly in the car. Some require that you put it in a glove box or a console. Some, all different rules about the vehicle, so you need to know that. Now I'm going to be stopping into South Carolina on my trip. Actually, the majority of my trip's going to be in Virginia and South Carolina. And in South Carolina, one of the things I'm going to have to do is I can't carry the firearm on me in the car. I actually have to put it in the glove box or the console, but I can keep it loaded and ready to go. So it's really important to know the individual laws for each individual state to make sure that you're in compliance. Now, on the other hand, when I'm in Virginia, it's going to be smooth sailing. I can open carry, I can conceal carry, I can carry in the car, pretty much, do as I please. But it's really important to look this stuff up and know what you're doing and make sure you're not breaking laws. You have to remember, if you do get arrested out of state, odds are the judge is going to want to hold you because he's going to consider you a flight risk. So it is really important that you do. Sorry guys, I'm a little distracted. There's an ambulance out front, so I have a feeling there was a car accident or something like that. So sorry for being a little distracted here. But that's that. It's simple and available to anyone. I know to get a non-resident permit does not require that you have a permit in your home state. It really is just time and money, and can make things a lot easier and a lot simpler for when you do decide to travel and go out of state. And in my case, it allows me to carry conceal pretty much 90% of the places I'm going. So hope you guys enjoyed and hope this helps out.